Hello, my friends on YouTube. Despite of what's going on in North Africa and the Middle East, which is very depressing, it's actually the media is not commenting about it, but it is worse than what is happening in America today. I don't really talk about it because what I see, which it may look far-fetched, but wars take place sometimes in a very strange way. And therefore, what's happening in this region today, it may actually lead to World War III, especially with the situation the United States is in. China and North Korea are rising. So let's hope for the best. Now, another subject, and this is for over 18 years old. In case of any kids, any children under age, please tell them to move away. Today we are going to speak about the rape of another Jewish young lady. Her name was Juwayriyya bint al-Harith. Some other people pronounce the name as Juwayriyya bint al-Harith, uh, which means the name of the girl is Juwayriyya, daughter of Al-Harith. Her father, his name Al-Harith. Bint means daughter of. Juwayriyya, daughter of Al-Harith. Juwayriyya bint Al-Harith, she was 15 years old, young lady, a child actually, by today's standard, whom Muhammad invaded her village, killed whoever he killed, and took captive the rest of the men and the women. I'm going to put the link because we spoke about the rape of Safiya bint Huyay, another Jewish woman. I'm going to put the link for those who did not hear it or watch the video. They can go and watch. Um, it's very similar, both from Jewish tribe, but Juwayriyya bint al-Harith, she she is more lucky in a way because not all of her people were killed, whereas Safiya bint Huyay, Muhammad commanded his people, his ISIS of that day, of his day, to slaughter between 600 and 900 Jewish men. And he took the money and the women as his booties. And the daughter of the chief tribe, the chief of the tribe, was murdered, and her husband was murdered. I mean, slaughtered rather. And she was raped right after he finished his invasion. Now, let's talk about the rape of Juwayriyya bint al-Harith today. The Muslim people and the Muslim leader, especially the leaders, they feel it is dirty, something dirty. So what they try to do is to find a way to justify the invasion. So they say her tribe were preparing to attack Muhammad and his people, but Muhammad fought. He is like he anticipated that, so he went ahead and struck them first. But if you read between the lines, when he struck them within minutes, he subdued them. These are not people who are into fighting. They didn't know much about fighting, they didn't know much about war, they didn't know much about killing. So we can, people who know about war and killing and fighting will not be defeated in a matter of minutes. Okay, the the, the numbers don't add up. Okay, uh, these were people, some of them were going to attend to their land. They were people, some were people of agriculture, some they were going out to take their animals to graze, uh, some had other profession, and everyone in the morning was going to his work, and they were surprised by Muhammad's attack, and some got killed and the rest were taken captives. The followers of Muhammad, most of them, they were actually thieves, if not all. But they were thieves who are robbing caravans. So they would stop a caravan and, you know, rob the money and run away, and that's it. But now, when Muhammad came, they were actually attacking villages. And in villages, you find men, women, and children. So, uh, caravans, mainly men with their money or merchandise. So, either they kill some men and take the money and run away, but there's no women to rape. So they go back to wherever they are hiding and stay there. Now with Muhammad, they found out after they finish the looting, the attack and the looting, part of the looting is women. And they used to divide the women among themselves as they divide the money. So these are women captive, and whatever you take captive, the booty is yours. Let's say I got 20 pieces of gold as my share. That's mine. I can go and spend it. I can buy a horse. I can build a house, whatever. It's my money. But also, when I get a woman or two or three as part of the booties, I can use them in any way I can, or I want, rather. But these people, even though they were bandit and they were thieves, they were not accustomed to raping women. So they went to Muhammad and they asked him. They still had some humanity in them. Okay, they were thief, but they were not rapist. So they went to Muhammad. They asked him, "What do we do with these women?" He said, "Yeah, go ahead, enjoy, have sex with them." Have sex with them. So the daughter of the head of the tribe was a young lady, 15 years old. Her name is Juwayriyya bint Harith. She was given to one of Muhammad's gang. So a girl in that age, she's frightened. She probably can see that her mother is being raped. Her auntie, her niece, her cousin, or whatever, are getting used sexually. So she said, I want, maybe she had some jewelry, so she offered it as a price for herself to be freed. And the person who had her as a captive, he said, no, I need more. So she said, let me go and ask Muhammad to give me some money. They just looted her place, so he has money. He used to get 20% of the looting of the booties. So she went to Muhammad's home and knocked on the door. Who opened? Aisha, the child bride of Muhammad. But by then she was like about 13, 14 years old, because Muhammad, when he married her, she was 9, he was 54. When he took Juwayriyya bint al-Harith, he was 59. That means 5 years later. And she was 9. She was 14. She was for Aisha was 14 at the time when she saw the young Jewish lady, girl, Juwayriyah. Aisha was 14, Juwayriyah was 15. So when Aisha, the child bride of Muhammad, looked at her, she said, I felt jealous. And she was afraid because she knew Muhammad will want have her as a sex toy. A new toy. For him, probably women were toys. So she felt jealous, but she took her to Muhammad. So she told him, I need some money because I want to be free. I don't want to be with this. I don't want to be a slave, especially to this guy or any of these guys. So Muhammad worked her a deal. Okay, I'll pay this money as your dowry and you become a free woman, but with the condition to marry me. With the condition to marry me. So even though she's a young girl, she was not stupid. She thought this is the best deal that she will get. Even though it is a terrible deal, but this actually was the best deal. Why is it the best deal? Because if she stayed with this guy who had her as captive, he will have her with him for a week, 2, 3, whatever length of time, and when he's done with her, he will sell her to another ISIS member for a certain price, so he can make profit on her after he had all what he wanted from her sexually. And the other guy will do the same and then sell her to another and to another. Whereas if she marries Muhammad, Muhammad made a rule that after he dies, none of his wives should marry another man. So this young lady, she thought that's a better deal, even though it's terrible, but it's a better deal because only one person will rape me. Only one person. And when he dies, and she probably were hoping soon, then she will be free in a way. Nobody will rape her anymore. Unfortunately, Muslims don't dare to think about these things. There are many of them who are doctors, lawyers, engineers, which, I mean, you have to have some brains to be able to study these things. And for those who don't know the Islamic religion, the Muslim people who are really just Muslim by name, they think that Islam is a wonderful religion. If you tell them this story about another person is doing this in history, let's say in China or in Japan, a warlord had done something like that, they will tell you, that is terrible. But when you tell them that was Muhammad who did this, no, 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 no. The Prophet is a different situation. This is very unfortunate. but I will keep exposing the filth that it happened back then. Thank you very much. We hope to hear from you.